By 1991, we were the best kept village in Kent. In 1992, we were the best kept large village in West Kent. Then we got involved with the South East in Bloom, which is part of the Tidy Britain scheme, and were fortunate enough to win it last year. Thanks to John Balford, who really worked very hard on it. But like all the rest of us, he's getting a bit older, and he said he didn't want to do the chairmanship again. My lovely husband suggested that I could cope with this as well, couldn't I? And so I took it on.
This is why I'm challenging Margaret to win both competitions in 1 year. So that's what she's trying to do, but whether she succeed or not, I don't know.
Whether I'm any good at it, I don't know. All the pink visualises are going in amongst the ferns. So it's the red ones in the middle, that's right, with some fuchsias. Oh, those are a nice colour, Reg. Like you, match your woolly. That's right, so those will need to be interspersed a bit with the others, won't they?
Well, the best thing to do is to lay them out where you're going to be planting, and whoever's planting them, just knock them out and pop them in.
That's right.
Put them where you want them in the first place.
I'll leave that to you, you're the expert.
Well, no, I don't know really how you want them or what.
Well, interspersed among the ferns, a bit like we did last year. Yes? Does that make sense?
Yes. Do what we're told. All right, anyway.
As you said, you ought to put all the pots out first, and then you...
That's what I think, yeah.
Yes.
I mean, what? May I ask you what you're going to do, and if you like to lay them out, I'll put them in where you lay them. Well, we will, I know after.
You lay them out?
You lay them out.
No, because I've got to go down to school in them. I don't like upsetting people, but I must say, you learn through living in the community who is going to say yes and who is not cooperative.
Hello, Margaret Newbold speaking again. Hello.
But I must say sometimes when I only tend to get on the phone when I want something.
Have you got any further with permission for us to take this tree down?
And I'm sure they must say at the other end, oh, what does she want this time?
And then we'll sort out where they go.
No, a bit lower. Yes, about there. I come from a bossy line of women, and I suppose teaching was the obvious career for a bossy woman. We're not easy to live with as far as poor husbands are concerned. But I must say, my husband is excellent. He knows I've got to do these things, otherwise I would be impossible to live with. So he looks after the house and I look after the village, and it works very well.
£30, yes.
Or 10 to 12 foot high.
10 to 12 foot high, yes.
Approximately the same spread.
Yes.
£41.
£41.
Right, that's very useful then. Right, thank you very much. Bye-bye. In the village, the post office car park, we're going to plant some, they call planters is the word. It's a big box about 1 metre square and 1 metre high, and we'd like to have this in position before the judges come round, so I've been dealing with that.
Then the suggestion is to have a planter against the post office. There's a slight difference of opinion I see in this letter, and Mrs Newbold would like a square and Mr Alexander would like a rectangle, or vice versa.
They're equally as aesthetically pleasing on their own.
My reason for the rectangular one and not the square one.
The Environmental Committee at Sevenoaks have provided us with these, and they're coming to plant them up this morning. Good morning. I'm not Diana, no, I'm Margaret Newbold, and I'm chairman of the Best Kept Village Committee.
One seat facing that way.
One seat facing there and one seat facing that way. But
So you don't want it too close to the pavement, because otherwise their feet will be sticking out on the pavement.
If you've got old ladies coming out of the post office, and these are the ones that are going to sit on it for a bit, waiting for their friend, they find something like this and it's difficult to negotiate with a walking stick. I think I would rather have it so they have their feet here.
Okay.
Come on, come on.
Line one seat facing out.
They have been put in the wrong places. I mean.
She wants it over there with the seat going out over the pavement, and I said then you're going to get people with their feet on the pavement.
I thought it was going over there. Wish I knew who this was.
You see the seat.
Margaret Newbold. So where does she want it then?
She wants the seat overhanging the pavement. But as I said, if you do that, people's legs are going to be out there.
Yeah, it can't. It mustn't overhang the
No,
pavement.
that's what I thought.
About planning permission, surely.
Well, I mean, the highways people
that's right.
wouldn't allow it.
That's
So
what I thought. And you can have fisticuffs at the next council meeting, yeah?
thanks.
Right, so this is what I'm taking down before the judges come. She says, hopefully. I should have brought some scissors. Oop.
Morning to you. Are you well? Margaret Newbold. Sevenoaks is providing us with some new planters, as you can see, coming up here. Margaret, if you get in, I'll back out and it'll make life easier.
Margaret and Peter Newbold are temporarily off duty. Could you leave a message or call back later? Thank you. Bye. Congratulations, Ainsford. You're the winner of the Southeastern Bloom competition. This automatically qualifies you for a place in the National Britain in Bloom competition. We'll send you the details of judging dates and hopefully speak to you shortly.
Good morning. Is Roy about? He is.
Hello.
Morning.
right.
Here we are. It's nice to be pinning that up. Big reward.
Got round to the red dot. I discovered the red dot. Well, here's to the village then.
Yes. Did very well, Mark.
And let's hope we do well in Britain in blue.
That's
We'll
it.
give it a
Yes,
whirl
yes,
anyway.
yes,
Give it a
yes.
whirl. Well, we have had letters, of course, on the subject of South East in Bloom and Britain in Bloom. Just read you the comments. Village Society puts Ainsford in a strong position in the competition. Full marks to the school on the proposed 1997 tree planting initiative. So much good work everywhere, especially by the Village Society. A prominent dead tree and a weed-covered island in Sadler's Park were rather unfortunate, as was the wrecked vehicle near Common Meadow.
Yes.
That's been there since we moved in the village.
Oh, it's been there 2 years.
It's been there even longer than that.
It's got to be a PR job. I think I've got to put on my sweetest smile and go and see him. I think we're getting a different type of person into the village. 20 or 30 years ago, we had upper middle class who really were leaders of men. Most of them have retired out of the village now, and we don't tend to be attracting the public school type, more the energetic person from a wider background.
Hello?
Hello, Mr. O'Connor. It's Margaret Newbold speaking, editor of the Trident.
Yeah.
Can I come and have a word with you? On the comments here, we've got a comment about your van.
Yes.
Now, I've got to publish this in the Trident, and I wanted to come and tell you that I was going to put it in the Trident.
Yeah, that's okay.
So I didn't embarrass you.
You won't embarrass me. This is my property. I'm entitled to have what I want on it.
Yes, you are.
I mean, there's
Yeah, perhaps people don't say to you because they're too polite to say, you know, it doesn't look too charming, but, you know, if it's actually commented on, we wondered whether we could negotiate with you.
Yeah, I know, yeah, but I'll be honest with you, ever since we've moved in here,
Yes.
we've had more problems with the neighbours in this village than I have with the gypsies in St Paul's Cray. And that's a God's honest
Well,
truth.
we're a snooty lot, aren't we?
In a word, yes. Yeah, we put a new fence up round the garden. Right, that was wrong. I mean, we used to park our cars round the front in our own front garden. There was a complaint. When I moved them round here, there was another complaint. Who weeds all this when it grows up?
You did.
Exactly.
Thank you
and
very
round
much.
the front.
I noticed.
Who put the garden in there? So I think there's a lot more to worry about than a broken down van. I can't, honestly, I can't think of anything more petty-minded than something like that.
Never mind. I think I think the PR wasn't too bad. I think he accepted our point as much as he was prepared to. I think I'm going to be a real creep and buy him a bottle of wine and a pot plant. And then at least they can't say that the village is all bad. Britain in Bloom. Judge's visit, Saturday the 28th of August, 3 o'clock to 4:30. Haven't you done well so far? Please do your best again. That little bit extra might make all the difference. I've brought you a Britain in Bloom poster. I don't know if you knew, we've got through the South East in Bloom and we're now through to Britain in Bloom.
Oh, definitely. Oh,
So you have to cut your lawns, trim your hedges,
Yes.
hang your hanging baskets out.
All right, that's
All right,
nice.
love. Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Thanks. Bye. Nice to see you again.
Yes, nice to see you.
I wonder who they think is going to move it.
good. David Bonnage working down here. Well done. Well done. Super. Oh, that looks really good, doesn't it? That looks really nice. David Bonnage has worked very hard on it. Ooh, I see you. I see you. Cigarette packet. So it's beginning to come together. A little nervous, I must say.
How do you do? It's, if you can, sorry.
How do you do?
Frank.
How do you do?
But a little adrenaline is good, I'm told. I don't think we could have done any more. I think we've worked, everybody's worked pretty hard.
James is the president of our village society, so he's a long-time resident ever since he was.
Very pleased to meet you. Been here 70 years.
And it's really made us take a new look at the village. So there we go. 1 chance in 11 of winning.
You haven't read my book, have you? You haven't read my book. You haven't had my book? My introductory book to the village.
Where did that go? Over Wigan?
That went to Wigan. It was supposed to have come to you by post haste. Oh dear, that makes life difficult.
Oh, that's a problem, John, isn't it?
We'll do our best. We'll do our best.
I was to be the first one to meet you. I was going to welcome you to Ainsford. Very pleased to see you. Ainsford is situated in the Darren Valley.
We've got 10 minutes before they come. I thought I'd come out early before they, in case they come early, you never know.
And we have the River Darren going through the valley. It starts in Westerham and flows into the Thames near Dartford.
So they might be running late, as James is doing an introduction to the village at the station. It could go on longer.
And it is rather picturesque. If you go from this road here south towards Shoreham, you can see a lovely view over the valley.
Time is 3:33.
This is already Frank Constable.
How do you do? How do you do?
How do you do?
You can take a look.
So what have you got to show us?
Well, this is our church hall, the Olive Seal Hall, and today they've got a book stall on it all the weekend. It's one of them.
I'm not officially on duty until 3:40. I should see John come round that corner talking about the War Memorial first. Village looks quite good through there, except for the great big dipper waste services.
Mondays in Everett, so this is why we've got people here. It's our little corner, our little snack shop of our corner of the village.
Thank you very much for your time.
You'll see Audrey again. Right, I'm going to ask you to just walk on to our famous view, I suppose you would say. And then I'll bring the car out, and while you admire it, I will get the car out and join you.
When you came out the mill, did you go across the road to the other place?
Yes.
I think you should have done, yes.
You mean the Priory?
The warning bell.
I think we're going down here. We'll go this way. You've got to go down to the nursery. It was going down there. That's a real nice house, that Tudor house.
It's poking flipping nose.
So where's James gone now?
I don't know where he's gone. I missed it all again. See you in a minute.
This is our common meadow, which was given to the village by the Hartdyke family of Runningston Castle.
Oh, yeah.
That's King Ross's wife. Good. We were standing...
We're waiting at the bridge, James. I mean, it's waiting there, wondering what's happened to him. See you in a minute. Right, what's my time scale, Stephen?
We're 1/2 We are where we are.
Where are we supposed to be?
4:30 we're supposed to be.
I went down here and I shouldn't have done. That was the route. I don't know where John got to. He went to get his car and I was standing here and nothing happening, so you couldn't just stand and do nothing. Oh well, no good worrying about it. The best's not good enough, that's all you can do.
Ainsford has really shown exactly what the competition is all about. The flower is marvellous, but it isn't only the flower that we're looking for. We're looking for community involvement. And I think that this village, with its village society and all its other societies, has amply illustrated this. Not to say, of course, that you won, because we've still got other places to go to. But at this stage, you're doing pretty good.
The large village trophies presented by the British Tourist Authority. And the national finalists are Bampton, Bewley, Cuddington, Ainsford, and Walbottle. Enthusiasm, together with undoubted skills and horticultural practice, made this winner a joy to visit. Almost faultless front gardens ablaze with floral displays, the main street adorned with an abundance of hanging baskets and blossoming planters give an outstanding warm welcome to this beautiful village.
It sounds like a suburb of paradise, doesn't it? Very exciting doing this. The winner of the Britain in Bloom 1993 Large Village Trophy is Brochane.
I think there will be a certain hint of disappointment in the village. Going to win a competition is one thing, and to make the village a pleasant place to live in, to retain its identity from the encroaching suburbia of the southeast, is another thing. Oh, that's nice, isn't it? I'm glad we've got something to take back. Something to take back. Yeah. It's the people who still make it a village. This is why I don't know how much longer it will stay a village. And we're apprehensive about the next batch of people. But then life changes, the whole philosophy of the country changes. But the community spirit, I think, could disappear.
For next week at the same time, the sale of the Ainsford prize-winning dairy herd.
When grandfather first came to Home Farm, it was just 100 acres. They had a herd of cows. And then when father took over, it was still 100 acres, and he gradually built it up to about 1,1600 acres. And then when father died, brother and I, we were running the farm by then, and we built it up to nearly 2,000 acres, which it is more or less today. Now, some farmers I've seen won't let their son do anything at all, and they don't get a chance to manage the farm until the father dies, and I feel very, very sorry for them. It's a dreadful way. You know, the fathers are not looking ahead. They ought to leave the farm in a situation that their sons know how to run it and can run it.
I've got to let them go.
And the father is there able to guide them, which my father did with me, and I've done the same with my sons. I think that's the only way to do it.
Come on. Neville came in and he said, "What do you think?" I said, "Oh, I don't know. What is it?" He said, "They're selling the cows." "Oh, my goodness," I said. "This is dreadful."
They called us all into the workshop to start with and told us the circumstances, and then they called us into the office one by one. That was a bit of a shock.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Ian, look out, the ball's going the wrong way. Come on. Come on. Come on.
We never thought they'd sell the cattle. Always thought there'd be an Ainsford herd. It'll be sad to see the herd go, you know, after all this time, 70 years. Sad. In my opinion, anyway, because I've been part of it for so long. I mean, I've done nearly 50 years of those 70. There's Francis and Teddy West and myself, and of course David will have to, he'll lose his job when the cows are sold.
I had some good news today. Good news on a bad day. My wife's 5 months pregnant, so it'll be due in October time. Got to try doubly hard to get a job now. Don't know what we're going to call the kid though when it's born, if it's a boy or girl. I like the name Fred, but my wife, she doesn't like it. I like the name Fred. She won't let me have it. I'll call it Fred anyway. Mind you, there won't be brain boxes anyway, so... Well, I'm thinking so's my wife, so... Have you been shopping? I just got to take my dog for a walk, okay? Go off, or I'll make you some food. Come on, get off the furniture, you lot. Come on, get off. People pay a lot of money for that view that we've got out there. If I had my choice, I'd live it like I'd live my days out here. But as circumstances prevail, it's one of those things I can't do because I've got to look after my family. I can't live here all the time. I've got to find another job. Come on, dog. Two lurchers are both coursing dogs, whether you agree with it or not, I don't care. They chase me rabbits and catch me dinners for me. Come on.
I don't mind admitting I did lose a few nights' sleep over it, but it's got to happen, so there we are. So it's happening, And you've got to wait till Wednesday and then they'll all be sold. And that's the end. You've got to let them try their ways out. They may not be quite so good, but they've got to learn the hard way like I had to. You do appreciate it after a while.
Oh, I think we're going outside today.
Thank you.
We've always had unpasteurised milk. But we're going to have to be buying from the milkman as of next week.
Fresh cow's milk. Got my Farmers Weekly, see how many jobs I can apply for this week. Whether there'll be any in there or not, I don't know.
It was a whole lot of things. We can't pin it down to any one thing, but it was political as well as financial. Political decisions, what has been happening in the EEC to affect us. We've had milk quotas for a long time. Milk quotas are reducing. If you stay in milk, then you really have to buy quota or you lease in quota, which is a lot of capital you've got to lay out. So otherwise, if you don't buy quota, you accept that the amount of milk you produce each year is going to be less, which we did, and we put more land into arable.
Here we go. There's that one there that I applied for, the head herds person with the 185 pedigree Friesians. That could be a good post, that could be. This one here, which has been in for the last 3 weeks and I still haven't heard anything from them. And there was another one as well. The herds person, oh, that's a bit beyond me. Farm manager, I'm not farm management material. Plenty of jobs for intelligent people.
I think it's a lot harder for your father to accept because he built it up for, for many more years, and that generation find it harder, to accept change.
Well, that's an interesting photo, this one. Unfortunately, there's only 3 of them alive now. That's Neville Free there, and he'd been working for us for 46 years. He's 86 years old now, and he's a superman. He absolutely knew everything about an animal. If he saw a calf ill, he could tell you the calf was ill before it showed any signs. That was what you call a real stockman, and that's what Neville was very good at.
And whenever there was anything wrong with them, it wouldn't matter what hour of the night, he would be up and down the road to look to them. Yes, always.
You told Mrs. Alexander, so
I did. Yes, I did. I said to Mrs. Alexander one day, I said, he thinks more of me than he does of the cows.
Oh. You've got that
She didn't like it.
You think
more of the cows than he does of me.
Those cows used to come in, they used to come into the cow sheds, like, through the door. And I was generally in the cow shed to see them come in, and I could tell every cow by its face. When they put the face through the door, I could have told you which cow that was.
See, so they're all very fond of their animals. They don't like to see them go. Oh, it's sad.
Sons don't want the cows, so it's them who are doing the farming now. So the cows have got to go. I don't like it, but who am I to say when they're doing the farming now?
I hate sheep, so I wouldn't work with sheep. If I didn't work with cows, I'd work with pigs, because I quite like pigs. They might stink, but they're quite nice creatures to work with. Should be an advert in the sale in this week's Farmers Weekly for my sale, or forthcoming sale as well. Somewhere about, yeah, here it is. Comprised Wednesday, June the 23rd, 11 AM at Home Farm, Ainsford, Dartford, Kent, 150 Holstein Friesians, comprising the dispersal of the entire old established Ainsford herd, EBL attested, the property of Messrs Jane R. Alexander Ainsford Limited, who are giving up milk production. So the complete dispersal is strongly recommended. That's my sale coming up on Wednesday.
10 for 6.
Yeah, that's right. A bit different from when you was doing it, I know.
Half of them are out in the field, washed and lotted, ready. Yeah. So when you come up tomorrow, they will be next door.
Yes.
This is the ring that the auctioneer supplied. They did have a table there for the auctioneer. He's in the office or somewhere.
The test was doubtful. So she's only done on the 23rd of May. And, OK, there's no guarantee on that one, because she's on the 23rd of May. So you can say what you like about her.
Yeah. Oh, I think we'll certainly have a look through the field now, if we may.
Going to put the cows over in the cubicles tomorrow morning.
Yes. And they'll bring them in here.
No, they bring them in that way.
Bring them...
In that way, in here and through and out there.
Oh.
That's a good cow, that.
That was 50 cows we had there then.
Yes.
Which is a lot when you were hand milking.
Yes.
And you went to machine milking.
I mean, 60 cows was a big herd.
It was a big herd.
Yes.
You had a twin, I don't know where that's gone. That's a good one. Just hasn't milked very well, that's the trouble. There you go, but a lovely look. It's been well advertised in all the national farming papers. Then those that want cows will come here tomorrow, probably anything up to an hour, hour and a half before the sale. There's a lot of things they're looking at, but the number one thing is when it comes in the ring, if it looks right, that'll encourage them. That's part of the reason why they're washed and clipped beforehand, so that they makes them look better. After all, it's a dispersal. It's the end of 70 years of cattle breeding, and it's only right that they should make a good job and go out on hopefully a high note with the cattle looking in good form. That's good.
Dave is going to be moving them around the ring.
Excellent.
So if you want to know anything,
yeah,
you can just fire questions at him.
That's good.
Turning up to have a look.
Yeah, I think you might get the odd early arrival coming sort of 9:30, but most of them will arrive between 10:30 and 11. There's many an anxious half an hour or hour spent peering up farm roads, wondering if anybody's going to come. But we hope that won't be the case tomorrow.
Don't want to be here today, that's all. But no doubt they'll all find good homes, hopefully. They might get treated, they might do better on other farms than what they do here, but...
Time you get a chance to take them. You know, build part of the sale picture. If you come back in 50 years' time, I've got a record for you.
Don't know how long it's going to take to sell them. About 4 hours, I suppose. Me plodding around in that ring, which I don't want to do. I'd sooner be out helping Richard getting the cows ready, but being as the herdsman, I've got to be in there.
Well, you know, it's history, isn't it? Not very good history. It's sad, but there we are. These things happen. Changes come and happen, and hope it'll be right.
Anyway, I'm going to get more breakfast. I'll see you later.
No, I think everything's pretty well ready. Yes. People will start arriving. scene now. We've got a few people arrived already. Yes, we're just going to last minute tidying up, I think. Before everything goes, just walk around, just check we've got this and that and the other. Car park signs, you know, all the little bits. Because there's not a lot else we can do now. Yeah. I don't know about there. Let the show begin.
What's it? Forum here, I think. The Thursday here will be just about. I think it's just about.
Yeah, I'd sooner not be here.
I bet you would.
Wife's gone for a scan tonight as well. I'd sooner be with her.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to you. And we meet today for an occasion which sadly marks the end of a remarkable era. For the last 70 years or so, the Ainsford herd has been in existence here in Kent, and its long distinguished history certainly gives a marvellous background to the cattle that we have to offer to you today. And although the herd has been more commercially managed over the last 10 or 15 years, I think these are cattle with a great background, a great inheritance, and I think the future is that they are stock that will surely go away and improve in their yields. Seven or eight, six to start up, 5, 15 in outside, 5 and 50, 60 behind, 9 to 14, 1 more than
50, 850, 80, 889 vehicles, 900,
that's 710.
Next one. Go on, go.
460 each an hour, at 460, well, they always get near these heifers. At 460 guineas, that looks to be good value. At 460 for sale now.
These heifers are selling well. From what I can hear out here.
680, at 680, 7 now, at 680, well, cheap cow, at 680, 7 makes up, at 680 guineas, 7 anywhere, at 680, 7 shortly,
880 for up, 9 bid, 900, at 900 guineas, all out down here now, at 900 guineas, that splendid cow, I'm going to sell her about, this time I'm going to let her go, all done, at 900, 640, stick with us up, at 640, 60, 660, 680, 680, 700 now, at 680 out of the top cut, at 680, one more shortly, at 680, not nearly the price to go up, at 680.
Greenfields.
Yeah.
I bought 5. We'll come tomorrow afternoon for them, that'd be all right?
Tomorrow afternoon? Yeah. Okay, yeah, all right. As long as you know which ones, and then we'll sort them out.
Yeah.
So Mr. Cutler, 650. That, ladies and gentlemen, concludes today's sale. Thank you very much indeed for your attention and attendance. Hope you all have a safe journey home.
Oh, you bought some, have you?
Yeah.
What name is it?
Thomas, that's right.
I couldn't think what it was.
Oh, I had a good sale. The average must have been very good. I should think that's exceeded their expectations. I should think so. If they're not satisfied, I think they ought to be.
No, I was sad, but it's just got to be so.
Yeah.
I'm glad for the boys.
We thought we were safe.
Yeah, there were enough people.
There was enough. You weren't going to get the onlookers that you'd have had in, you know, Lancashire or Cheshire or somewhere, but I think that there was a lot of local support. A lot of good local people came.
And they were buying some. We had some local buyers. I didn't buy too many, I don't think, but
they bought the village.
Come on.
Just the cattle for Cowgill and buyers, he bought one.
Yes.
If they could be milked tonight and tomorrow morning, they're coming for them tomorrow.
Yes.
Got 30 quid off the auctioneers anyway, so if they cried them around the ring. So that was nice.
Good.
But anyway, it's been good fun.
Yeah, well, many thanks. Yes, we've had. Yes, you've done us good.
Cow sold well, they have been selling. 1,300 guineas a piece, so James and Robert will be very happy. It'll make them happy anyway, so. Here endeth Albury Farm, for me anyway. I've enjoyed my time here, so that's all that matters. There's a job in Worcestershire. Well, he said they was going to offer me the job. It's working with cows again, and there's a house with the job. I think that's everything anyway. I took it and I'll be starting on the 12th. Working a bit longer hours like, but won't worry about that anyway, so just hope everything goes all right for us. Winston!
What's that?
Blister. Looks a bit bare now, doesn't it? So that's my life in there, just about, for the last 6 years. I just got to go. Got to speak to Beverly.
Hello, Dave.
You're going up to him as well,
Yeah, you too.
before he was
You too.
Yeah, we shall miss him.
Don't get people in touch.
No, that goes without question.
Otherwise you'll be in trouble.
Get Dave, will you? No. Yeah.
You know, he's lucky, but there's an odd job about it, isn't there?
Oh, well, there's quite a lot of people that still got the cows.
Well, I think I told you when they had that sale up there. Obviously, you know, there was the farmers, dairy farmers buying the cows, and they just could not understand why these cows were going. The place up there, all this up here, is built particularly for cows. They just couldn't understand it, because there's more money in milk now, according to what they told me, than ever there has been. So, I just would not know.
Just hope we got everything.
Whether you're interested in them or not, you've got to be interested in animals because it's hard work and a lot of hours, you know. It's a shame, but they've gone. Lifetime's work.
Well, we'll be returning to the village of Ainsford, 20 miles from Piccadilly Circus, next Tuesday evening here on Carlton at the same time of 7:30.
This is a complete, absolute cock. I have never seen such a load of vomit in all my life. And this was going to be Lisa's birthday. And it was. And Lisa is going to have to eat this, even if I ram it down her throat. Because I've gone to all this trouble.
Please let this work. It's the 74th birthday cake for the WI.
What do you want written on the cake?
Write something quick. What, 74? Or do you want to do just a big 7 and a 4 or 74th birthday? What? What have you done?
Miss an R.
You've missed the R out. Oh my God, what am I going to do? Spread the sugar all over. Scrape it off, look. I know. Yeah, scrape it off, don't worry about it.
It's very nice, Mark's done a good job. Right, ladies, I will now cut the cake so Mary can cut small pieces off for you. Okay.
After I'd had my son, I was really ill and I was in a mental hospital for 6 months. And my friend took me because she said, you know, you've got to mix with people, because I'd had ECT treatment, you know, in the mental hospital. And it was, WI for me was really good. It really got me back into doing all sorts of things, because ECT makes you have a very bad memory, you know, afterwards.
And our speaker is Mrs. Dulcie Lewis on powder and paints after we've eaten the food and had our cake and coffee. Now, I haven't finished yet there. Next month, July the
Having
21st,
always lived in the village, when I grew up and got married, I had to make the transition from being little Sue, my mum's daughter, to being someone else. So I joined the WI and I was with people, my contemporaries, I was me. But with my mum's friends, I was still little Sue. But I stuck at it long enough that I've almost got my own identity now. Another 20 years and I should have cracked it. I feel sorry for these newcomers who've only been here about 5 years.
Cooking dinner and I was going to put a jam jar on top of my head, but I thought I might get chucked out.
Well, the one meeting I went, they thought I was the speaker. And I was being treated really nicely, and I thought, God, this is great. And then they found out who it was, and they were all right. They were all right after that, but they did. They thought I was the speaker.
Now, Egyptian women, they used makeup all copiously. They rouged their cheeks, they would make their lips red, they painted their fingernails, and they decorated their nipples with gold paint.
There are a lot of people that put the WI down because they think, oh, it's, you know, the usual thing, jams in Jerusalem, and it's really boring, an old fuddy-duddy thing. But I think it depends on the women, and you get a bunch of women together. And
now, of course, we still do our cheeks, and we still do our nails and our lips, and of course, what you do with your nipples is your own affair.
But we've had a lovely evening. Thank you very much for coming. It was most amusing.
Bye-bye, man.
Thank you
Thanks
very
for
much.
coming. Thanks a lot. Bye. How's Rose holding everything up? No, it's okay. Your hat was lovely. Oh, thank you. Did you really, Nick? I did, yeah.
when you do get to talk to any of the other women, when you finally get it out of them, they're all very lonely. They have all been sitting at home, going mad. You know, they want to get out.
you don't meet people like you did in the old days when you walk down to the local shops, because everyone drives everywhere. I'm sure people probably are friendlier than I am and get to know people a lot quicker, but I'm afraid I don't know really anyone. I don't do anything to meet them. And hence, I've been here 4.5 years and still possibly feel like a bit of a newcomer. Up until now, everything I do involves the family. You know, all our social life includes them. They're never excluded. But you see, they started off their young years overseas, where that's the norm anyway, where children are included. It's only when you come back here to the Brits that you realise that you're constantly getting babysitters because the children just aren't included.
You come to a village and like a cottage type of situation, and you don't see it as being a small house. You don't see the river as being dried up sometimes and yucky. You have these like rose-coloured spectacles, and it's all village. Oh, a little cute shop, and you only forget that they've probably gone to charge you 95p for a loaf of bread.
I mean, it's a beautiful place, isn't it? I mean, especially this situation here, we're surrounded by fields, farm fields, and it's pretty, but it's dull.
Now I've got to read the dry thermometer first, and that one says 15.0 centigrade. Now the next one I go to is the thermometer on the grass. That's 1.7 centigrade. Surprising difference between concrete and grass. See, the grass, I took the temperature, the minimum there was 1.7 centigrade, and on this concrete is 6.6 centigrade. No, there's no rain. That's empty. There's no rain in there, so there's nothing to write down. That's gone down to 17.2. So that's that done. Now I must do this every day at 9 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time, and now we're on British summer time. That is 10 o'clock. So that's finished there. Now we'll go and see what the weather vane says, which direction the wind's blowing. I quite like writing figures down. This is my rainfall book, which you can see I started in 1949. It's all suddenly getting on this house. Excuse me. 9862237. What number did you want? I've measured the height for the railway viaduct. That was a tricky job because you had to wait till there's no trains running, and on Christmas Day there's no trains running, so I walked along the side of the railway line. Highly illegal, never told anyone. And I got my tape measure, 100 feet long, and dropped it down to the ground, and I got a girl to come out with me, and she was at the bottom to tell me that it was on the ground. I didn't tell my wife because I got in a row if I'd told her. And that was 72 feet from the top to the bottom, so I knew what that was. That was quite, a very good fact that was. That's a permanent figure. It won't move. That's very nice. So I've got that figure. Also, when they were repairing the railway line a weekend, they had the railway closed and all the current was turned off, and they're working in the tunnel, and I walked from one end of the tunnel through to the other. I'd always an ambition to do that, because you can see from one end to the other, but when you're in it, it's that dark. And I counted all the sleepers through the tunnel, and I measured the distance of them, and multiplied it out, and it's 1/2 a mile long, that tunnel. That was built in 1862, the same date as the viaduct was. So I've got that knowledge too. I know the number of sleepers there are.
No, it's a nice little village, really. It's, I'd say it's a bit like that nursery rhyme, though. when it's good, it's very, very good, and when it's bad, it's horrid. Because it's quite busy. I don't think there's no. I think that's why the market's going to be good, because there's nowhere really that all different ages can meet.
Well, this is about to launch the WI market, to put the proposition to all the people who come are interested to agree that they would like to contribute to a WI market and set the whole thing up. We've got to have a committee to be set up and appoint people to run the thing, because I'm not doing it all on my own. It may seem like it, but it's a good thing for community spirit, because the people who are doing these things will come together and meet as a social enterprise, and they'll have an outlet for their skills in cooking, growing plants, and doing crafts of all kinds, as we haven't got the village shops where most people used to meet beforehand.
As long as we can get a proposal tonight and a seconder, and then we can get your steering committee, we're off the ground. We can start in September.
It's lovely to see you all. And you know why we're here, don't you? We're hoping that you are the nucleus of the new market in the county at Darrant Valley.
Well, the aim of the evening is to persuade you to start a WI market here in Ainsford. Is it Ainsford or Ainsford?
Ainsford. You will have the WI Complete Book of Home Preserving or Bulletin 21. Anybody cooking for WI markets has to register her kitchen.
Food. You can have cakes, of course, that's the most popular. Variety is very important. It's no good having a dozen Dundee cakes because you're likely to sell 2 or 3. Plants are very popular too. They must be well rotted and no bugs.
Rotted?
Rotted. Well rooted.
This is a great effort to keep the village life going so that we don't end up in a state of total suburbia all over the country. And tomorrow is the day. Can't believe this time last year I was reluctantly saying, yes, all right then, we'll go to Denman College.
Yes, this is a traffic census of the vehicles that are passing through Ainsford, and we do it every year on the second Thursday in August, and this is our 16th year we've done it. And we start at 6 o'clock in the morning and go right through to 10 o'clock at night, and we change people every hour, so we've got 16 different people doing it. And most people turn up each year for us. Very rare I've never had anyone refuse to come.
Right, all right then, Harry. Thanks again for coming. Morning, Sheila. Everything all right, Peter? All right then. I'll run back in the dry.
I can carry on. You can start off.
And if you give me a toot on your head.
When I'm starting, when I'm finished.
I'll do that. Yeah, I will.
Okay, thanks. Right, that's me finished.
About between 8 and 9 o'clock in the morning, and then it's about 4:30, 5:30 in the afternoon. That's our busiest time. And it sort of works out every year about that time.
Why is that, any?
Well, I think that's when people are going to work, and then when they're coming back.
No, you can't because the thing's not open yet. Can you just take them in down and put them under the table?
Yeah, it's all right. We'll hang around. It always
Shoulders, knees and toes, knees and shoulders, eyes and ears and mouth and nose.
Slight hiccup, the playgroup's not out yet. We were told 12 and it's 15:15 when they come out. Come and put your things in here, I think.
Right, now if you sit nice and quietly and wait for your mummies, we'll go and get your paintings and the Annie apples that you made today.
But I'll
Get those out.
I think you're too far. These are for checking in.
Okay.
Right? Well, because Jill said, don't check them out in the foyer, check them in front of the tables where you didn't do it.
It would have been better to have done it by the door, then you wouldn't have had too many people in
That's
here.
what I wanted
Right,
to do.
can you all wait outside just for a moment, please? Because we've got far too many people
Yeah,
in
I
here.
know.
We don't know what is going on. And we will ask you to come in a moment and we'll check you in, if you don't mind. Because we're just going to get in a muddle with too many people in here.
Eric Clark is here now to do his hour. And he said, oh, that's nice. I do appreciate you asking me. He said, can I come next year? $1990 went up a little bit, 4.6%. 91 was 2.6%. And last year it went down 6.8, and I expect that would follow the recession. There weren't so many cars about. So is our position, and today, interesting to find out whether the traffic is the same, more or less. You talk to people, they say, oh, there's far more traffic about. We've never had so much.
It's slightly more interesting than watching paint dry. James has great powers of getting people to do things.
Very good of you coming doing this again for me. Much appreciated. We had no cars at all, nothing happening. All of a sudden, a bus came, double-decker, and a whole stream of cars behind it.
I just can't say no. I've done this, well, ever since I've been involved with the parish council, so this must be something like my 6th traffic count, I think.
Have you got the invoices with you?
Have you got the invoices with you?
I've got lots of labels, so I couldn't redo them.
Sweet or savoury? We put it out and people keep moving it.
No, can you to display it? I do not want to see. You're not.
It's nice to do them in small amounts.
Yes.
Talking about this, and they were saying they wanted cake.
So I asked them to see Barbara then about, I've had a complaint here about all their goods being squashed together.
Yes.
I think because of the hours of work that's been put into that.
You want it a bit more space?
Squashed up like that.
Those are like, we've got to learn by our mistakes, okay?
Oh, yeah.
So we've learned this week.
Right. Because we didn't know what was coming. Yeah.
Is there such a thing as an official piece of card to write the price up for tea and coffee?
Official card.
Well, they might.
Where's my starch? Can I share?
Oh, in the milk bottle. Hard luck. They did that
They were
before.
told to go outside and
shoulder comes back. So Lissy, sit for two, that's it, well done. Then closing up your distances again. Reign's a little bit shorter there, Susie, so that Nicky isn't trotting round with his nose almost touching the ground. That's it. And you do need to keep on at him all the time with your legs because he is a little bit lazy. Are you having a few problems with your stirrups there, Sam?
We've got a ribbon to cut.
Yes.
Are you stopping
the
us,
ribbon?
please?
I didn't realise where you were.
It's all right, my dear, you've got an awful lot to do on a day like
I'm not
this.
sure I'm coming or going, really.
It's my happy pleasure today to welcome Ainsford to the WI Market family. I know that this community will benefit from this cooperative project, and I know that WI Markets nationally will benefit from the success of Ainsford. May I take a few moments to thank that intrepid, hard-working, committed band of people who got this project off the ground and have a recipe for success. There's one ingredient missing: customers. And it's my very happy duty today to introduce that ingredient by declaring Ainsford WI Market open this week, next week, and every week as long as customers keep coming back. Welcome to our 547th WI Market. Have you got your purses ready,
Is it all made by WI members? Did you come early enough with all the food as
Well, no, we've just this minute come, you see.
You have to be here when
Is
it
it going
opens.
to be every week?
Every Friday, 2 o'clock.
Okay.
Be here. No, 2:30 is too late.
I can give you a ride home, Joyce. Yes? You go and sit in the car and then I'll take it.
What's his life?
You go and sit, no, you take it and sit in the
Okay, the market is closing now. Thank you very much for coming and for your support, and I do hope we'll see you next week because it's open every Friday. Make a date, come and see us, chat to your friends with a cup of tea and buy something. But I'm afraid this is the end for today. Thank you very much. Can we clap all?
I don't know what the figures are, how it's finished up, but we'll know tomorrow morning. I just file them away and they're there for anyone who wants to know. And everyone who's been helping us with the census, you know, for an hour, they will get a copy of the results and a thank you letter for their help. People are that pleased to do it too. You know, several of them have thanked me very much for asking, you know, will you be doing it again next year and will you ask me? Incredible. Hello, David.
Hello.
I just come to see how you're getting on.
Oh, well, all right, you know, very slow.
Very slow, is it? Any problems seeing it this time of night?
Next Tuesday at 7:30, 20 miles from Piccadilly, Circus takes a look at the life of the village bobby.
family out and about making the most of the countryside. Unfortunately, because they come out, you get the thief element who follow them out here, knowing that there's probably easy pickings in the shape of a car left somewhere, possibly with Mum's handbag left in it, or failing that, £200 or £300 radio left in the dashboard.
In the grounds of Ainsford Castle. Remember, the gates open at 12:30. 12:30, ready for the children's party at 1:45. 12:45, and then at 1:45 we start the children's races. Then later on in the afternoon we've got the Anthony Roper Choir who are going to entertain you. And of course this afternoon marks our annual event, the Great Tug of War competition for the clubs. And then all sorts of raffles, prizes, draws, sideshows. There's absolutely anything you could want, everything you want in the way of food, and we've even got a beer tent as well. Ainsford Neighbourhood Watch.
You know about the Neighbourhood Watch, hopefully.
We get an awful lot of burglaries of garden furniture and equipment and lawnmowers. It's extraordinary. Oh, the man himself.
I've got 3 more boxes in the car.
Oh, that's okay.
Good morning. Stacks of this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
As it is, I'll go and get the rest of it in a moment.
Yes.
I don't know if you can hear me yet, but somebody is very successfully blocking up the gate to the field with a blue escort. But it's stopping us from getting the vans in and out. So if you recognise it and you could move it, it's not you, Graham, is it? A bloody policeman park anywhere. So, mums, dads, children, come and join us. 12:30 in the castle grounds.
I'm one of the few that actually lives on the beat now. You know, the majority of beat officers, they live elsewhere. They've got their own houses, that sort of thing. The only reason I can live in Ainsford, realistically, is because it is a police-provided house. But how long that's going to last for, I don't know. We have quite a number of people coming out committing crime. It's so easy. Not only have you got the M25 close at hand, the M20 as well, and you got people travelling in from all directions. Majority of burglary we get around here is during the day. You know, the old adage of burglar Bill sneaking through your window at night just doesn't apply out here. Between, I suppose about 8 in the morning and 7 in the evening, the majority of these houses are empty. People come down and help themselves. We have to rely on what's left of the old villagers to keep an eye out and see what they can see, you know, and you never know, we might catch somebody at it. Oh, here we are. What we got here? Hello there. Can you tell me what you're doing up here?
Just having a chat.
Just having a chat?
Yeah.
Any particular reason for coming up here?
No.
Well, the reason why I've come to check up on you, you've been seen by a member of the village community who actually saw you park up here.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're a little bit worried because we get a number of burglaries during the year down here, and it's a bit of a funny place to park, isn't it, really?
Well, we're just having a chat, somewhere quiet to have a chat.
Oh, I see. Can you tell me who you are, please? Yeah, Charlie Bravo 53, my force number is 7831. Reason code 1, please. And I'd like 2 person checks, please.
This will be a popular store, won't it, eh?
And of course, this afternoon marks our annual event, the Great Tug of War competition for the pubs and clubs.
Right, before the rush starts, girls, would you like to buy your parachute ticket?
I don't want a parachute.
No, the parachutes are going to land in the field, and it's all been marked up into squares, and if they land on the square that you've chosen, you win the prize.
Okay,
providing everything you've told me is correct, then you're both not known to us, which is something. There's nobody else come down with you today, is there?
No.
No.
Just the two of us. We came down because Caroline wants to have advice on a new boyfriend.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Just have a quick look in the back. Nothing in there? No. Okay then. Right. Sorry to disturb you. As I say, we do have a problem with burglary down here, and we do like to find out who's about. And as you can see, they've just left. I think it might have scared them a bit, actually. Which is not the idea of the exercise, but you normally find that people move on once they've been looked over. Oh, and just to let you know, check them out. They're not known to us. It's a man and a woman. The vehicle's all in the clear. I've had a look in the back, nothing in there. So anyway, they've now left. They followed us out.
Yeah.
I think it might have been somebody who shouldn't have been there. Okay.
Yeah, thanks for
See you later then. Yeah, no problem. Well, at the end of the day, it makes you wonder, would you have a village policeman anymore? I mean, at the moment, the way it's going, I think that we tend to be a bit of a luxury. A lot of what we do, for example, apart from the computer record generated about that stop check, Dartford don't know anything about it. So as far as they're concerned, I've been sat out here doing nothing. That was as a result of a call from the member of the public who lives in the village, happens to know me, and managed to get in touch with me direct. And of course, there's a lot of that sort of thing going on. Consequently, it's seen that we're not doing a lot, although there'll be something about it, but it didn't come from a central station, so we've not been resourced on the computer to go and deal with it.
Good afternoon. Have you bought tickets for the parachute jump? Would you like to?
I'm not interested in doing the parachute jump.
You don't have to do it. Actually, you just have to pay £1 if someone else does it.
Right, ready, steady, go!
Go, Nicholas!
Oh, there's a young man. I'm going to get him.
Oh, go get him.
Excuse me. I can. I'm going to have this bloke here. Good afternoon. Would you like to buy a ticket for the parachute jump?
Parachute jump? You
Yep.
mean I have to do it?
No, you don't.
Hello, Mrs. Cameron.
Yes?
Hello there. Graham Moore, your local PC. Just popped round to see you about these people that you had pop up on your doorstep the other day.
Evening.
Yeah, Monday evening, yeah. Are you eating at the moment?
Well, I've just finished my pudding. You see, I let them in to
Yeah.
use the phones,
Yeah.
and the little boy come and stood here,
Yeah.
and he asked for the code. So I said, where are you dialing? Gravesend. I said, that's 0474. I said, well, that was quick.
Yeah.
So I watched him dial.
Mhm.
He only did 9 digits.
I see. Yeah.
So he said, it's engaged. Put the
Mhm.
phone down. And then he said, can I wait a minute? I said, all right. I was standing there with the door open.
Yeah.
Do you think you could get my little boy a glass of water?
Yeah. And with that, you.
So I said, right, you're having me on, so get out.
Yeah. And he didn't argue at all.
Well, no, but he got to the door and my husband appeared here.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's helpful. Yeah.
oh dear, he said, you frightened me. And you see,
What's
I
that?
have
Oh,
this
crikey.
here. And I've got my police whistle here.
So you're well armed.
Well, they're not going to get away with
Yeah.
anything without I have a go.
Would you like a ticket for the parachute jump? No, you don't have to do it though. Not actually do it.
It's working. This is where we start being sneaky. This could probably give more ammunition to Kenneth Littlejohn in the sun than anything else. But there is a reason for it. What it is, we're getting a number of complaints about people speeding through the village. As you can see, the roads aren't that straight, so it's a little bit difficult trying to find somewhere where you can actually carry out a speed check. The idea being, first of all, that if they're not going too fast, then we give them a bit of a warning, just let them know that we are about. Hopefully it actually is a deterrent to others. But if they are going a little bit over the top, then obviously we take a little bit of action. The idea is to stand here just underneath the trees where you can't be seen. 31 miles an hour, that's nothing to worry about, although he is accelerating slightly. Just seen us. Realise that we're here. The idea of this piece of equipment really ...46, 47, what order did this one? Hello there, would you like to switch off the engine and step out of your car a moment, please? Right then, are you aware of the speed limit through the village?
30 miles an hour.
What speed do you think you were doing?
I thought I was going about 30 miles an hour, but I'm not sure. Oh dear.
Can I just confirm that that vehicle has been attacked? I've got details of the RO if you haven't already got them.
Yes, affirmative. The car has been broken into. The steering lock has been attacked. However, the owner is likely to be a commuter and won't be back for some while. What they've done is they've removed the steering lock from around here, pulled out the ignition barrel, and have tried turning the bottom end of the lock there to get the car started. When I found it, the ignition lights were on, but the engine hadn't fired. So at the moment, we're waiting for a dog to turn up now to try and capture these characters. They're out in the woods there somewhere. How far away they are, I don't know. And as usual, the radio down here is bloody awful. Just stop them having it away for now. Right, let's find out what the score is on the dog a minute. The problem we got is if we go chasing off across the footpath after them, okay, we might see them, but the chances are we probably won't. But obviously if we go wandering up there, we'll ruin the track for the dog now, which we don't want to do. If there's a chance of it finding them, then we'll let it do it first. It goes right up through, up the back of these houses here, and then carries on straight out to Chalkhurst Woods. All we've got is two youngsters, one about 20, wearing green sweatshirts and green trousers. What trousers? Green trousers. Almost a bit like the Brands Hatch type of green. Okay. Now all we've got to do is wait. Right, the footpath is just here on the left. Right. And if you got to where it joins the field, that was the last place that they were seen by a member of the public. Yeah.
Right, who else has been up here?
As far as I know, a member of the public coming this way with his dog in that seat.
Right. Good lad. Max. Good fella, good boy. Good lad. But I can quite have to go and say someone's been a bit.
That's all right, yeah.
That, Brian?
Yeah, no sign of them, Dave.
No.
Okay, mate.
There's only one fella gone round with a black dog.
How long ago was that?
Just now.
It might be that they're going to lie low in some of the bushes or something,
Yeah.
thinking that they'll we're all going to disappear.
and then they might break cover.
You never know, yeah.
Have you got any description at all of them?
All we've got of them is two youngish blokes, one about 20s, dark hair, and they're both wearing green sweatshirts and green trousers. Right you are then.
Cheers.
Bye then. Probably blown that one out. The problem we got is that this path is widely used by a number of residents and their dogs, and consequently the dog is being distracted by other dogs. But what the dog handler is going to do, she's going to go at the top there and see if she can flush anything out, whether they might be hanging about just waiting to see if we leave or whatever, you know. That's the sort of problem you've got, and with all this open land, I mean, they could be anywhere. Just sat in a bush looking at us laughing.
Oh, he's on it, he's on it, he's on it.
And maybe once again.
You good boy.
Yeah, Bernie, just to update you and keep you in the picture, we've done a quick track with the dog. It's proved negative. They're now leaving the area. Hello there. You've not seen a couple of characters running about dressed in green on the lane at all, have you?
No, I haven't. What have they been up to?
They tried stealing a car down at the railway station. And they might come out this way. If you see them around, can you give us a ring?
Yeah, okay, great.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
See you later.
Bye.
Sorry, my car.
Well, yes, I know. I nearly caught two blokes breaking into it.
Did you?
Yeah,
I've only
nearly.
just got here.
Nearly. We've been chasing them up across the fields there,
God,
but
so it's just happened, is it?
about an hour ago now, I think, something like that.
This is the second time. I don't know if you remember coming around to my house once before.
That's
that
right.
window was
Yes.
smashed.
Yes, that's right. Yes, yes. They actually. What was it they took then? A
Well,
jacket or
they
something, wasn't it?
no, they took the
Oh,
what do you call it,
the
tax
tax
disc.
yeah.
Yes, which,
Yeah. Actually, you can still drive your car.
Can I?
Yeah.
I wasn't sure where on earth to put the key abutment. I don't think I can. Look at that.
Have you got a screwdriver?
Not in here, no. Really depressing things are coming back there.
Right. If you'd like to go home, we'll follow you down. We'll switch the engine off for you once you've got it parked up, and then I'll get a crime report done.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Right. Trouble is, everything's in the thieves' favour. First of all, he knows where he's going to strike. We don't. And on top of that, the chances of actually catching them in the act are nil, I would say.
Take the strain, boy. Take the strain. Don't want anything else coming out of your head now. You think about this, Paul, and we go for it.
It really is.
You understand what I'm saying? Now think about it and let's go for it. Come on, let's go for it all the way. Right, take the strain. Take the strain. 1,
once again, we congratulate the Five Bells team for retaining their trophy. They were tremendous.
Right, third year running, that's great. Yeah. Great, well done. Thank you very much. And well done the Five Bells. The Five Bellies, oh, I mean the Bells. We'll take anybody on around here at the moment.
Get this place cleared! Shut up! Shut up! I don't want to hear another word! I do not want to know another word! And what I say goes.
Basically, there was a break-in here sometime during the night, or early hours this morning. I mean, it sounds fairly professional in the way that they've sort of gone about it, but having got inside, I mean, just sort of into bits of rather ridiculous vandalism, really. Not there's a lot here to take anyway. I mean, there's no cash on the premises. But then, totally separate to that, they someone found a body in the woods this morning. We came down to the centre, called the police in, and they're now investigating that. But whether there's any connection or link between the two, we've absolutely no idea.
There was a couple out walking just off Luddingston Golf Course, and as they were walking along, the gentleman in the party suddenly saw this youth hanging from a tree. And at first he thought he was messing about and went over to him and, come on, wake up, you know, stop messing about, sort of thing. And then he realised that his feet weren't on the ground.
There's been a body found in the woods as well.
Oh,
so they're, I'll try and find out how long it will be, but they've had to sort of clear up after forensic have been in and all the rest of it. So.
Obviously, our first thought is, well, is it suicide or is it something a little bit more unhealthy? Myself and the other PC searched the body for any form of identification, and all that we found literally was that this guy's keys. Amongst them was a key for a Ford car. We didn't know which model. We literally had to go around all the car parks in the area to try and find this car. And this is it. So assuming the ID from the owner of this car is the same man, we're going to make further inquiries now to try and follow it up. Okay then? We did a check on the Police National computer to find out who the car actually belonged to. It gave us an address in Welling. In the meantime, while these inquiries were going on, apparently his mum walked into Belvedere Police Station with a suicide note, and she then identified him later at West Hill Hospital as her son. I think what we'll do is we'll park in here for the moment. You've got to be exceptionally lucky to actually catch somebody at it. They reckon that, or some statistician has sat down somewhere and worked it out that a police officer on patrol is going to come across a burglary or be within 100 yards of a burglary once every 6 or 7 years in his career. You know, I've got 8 years in, so I've got another 4 to go before I catch my next one. Hello there. So you're not a member of the Kingfisher Preservation Society, are you? No, because this is private fishing, actually. Is it? Yes.
I thought it was down through.
No, it is private fishing right the way through.
So
yeah.
What, you've got to go?
Yeah, I would suggest that you pull it in before you end up in trouble, okay? Who said it's not private?
And next Tuesday at 7:30, the Amateur Dramatic Society holds a special party in 20 miles from Piccadilly Circus.
My family has lived in this cottage since 1888. Mother had 10 children, all born in this little cottage, and 8 of us grew up. I'm 86 this year, and really there aren't very many of us, of the old Ainsford people left. There's Ethel Darby, of course, who I know quite well. She's very, she's at 90 something, I can't remember which.
Morning, David. Well, practically all these are village people that have been reburied. Now, all my father's family were buried down there, but they didn't have stones, couldn't afford them. So now that's all being reburied again after 100 years. They're allowed to do that. I've lost my husband's grave. Oh, that's it. It's been in a dreadful state because all the stuff from here washed over onto my grave and it all went black. But I've had it returfed, so it's not too bad now. And that's where I'm coming. Now, that is my brother and his wife. That is my mum and dad. That is my grandmother and grandfather and great-grandmother and great-grandfather and my baby. My mum was 93 and my brother there was 93 and my sister-in-law 93. And I got to 93 and I hoped I was going and I didn't. It sounds silly to say that, does it? But look, I'd sooner go now. All my friends have died or they're in homes, sitting in rows. And I'd sooner go before I get to that stage. It isn't in our hands, I know, but...
I'm chair-bound now. About a couple of months, I suppose, but I've been home quite a number. I walked with elbow crutches for a number of years because I had the hip done. It was all right. It was quite successful. I still couldn't walk without the crutches. But before that, I was quite active, you know. I only have the one son, and he lives in Australia. He's been out there about 22 years, I suppose. 2 grandsons still out there, of course, because his home's out there. So he's home and he's looking after them entirely at the moment with the help of carers and the odd nurse or two. And so far we're managing very well, but how long it'll go on I really don't know.
Mum hates it.
With him and his didgeridoo. But he plays the harmonica quite well. And he mixes it up with people with guitars and things, which sounds a little better than the saxophone on his own. So he gets quite a lot of pleasure from it, I suppose.
You learn all sorts of strange things in Australia.
I'm sorry, but you've
gonna have Bye, Flo.
It's me. And I nicked them for you.
Oh, where did you get them?
You smell those, they're
Where
lovely.
are they? Oh,
Pinched them.
thank you very much, Mary. Where's all the papers you get? Oh, you're going to bring me some letters?
No, I haven't got any today for you.
Today? Right, please.
Anyway. You know, this lad at Christmas, she had a fall out of a wheelchair. Of course, it broke her arm where she had to walk with arm sticks. And of course, she can't do that now because of the broken, which they can't mend. You know, they usually elderly people, they pin it, don't they, when it's broken? But she wouldn't. They didn't think she'd stand the anaesthetic. You know.
But give Mary a due, she always knocks. All the years I've known her, she always knocks. Hey. Which is nice, so... Oh, she's so good-natured, yes. I honestly don't know what I'd do without her. She's been so good to me over the years. And, of course, now Barry's home, she doesn't do quite so much. And then she's always done my shopping for ages. If she goes out to Asda, she gets me a bulk lot. And, yes, and she's very good. And if I say to come and sit with me for half an hour and have a little natter, which we do, well, she's a fantastic person, really, and she's so busy. Well, she said if I didn't get out and do things, I would be stuck indoors on my own, which is true, so that's what she does.
It comes to us all getting older. So, but anyway.
Later, yes? Usually if there's visitors, I don't, you know, I go back out.
Gets me into bed now. Step on the walk if you ring.
But as I say, the next 2 weeks after, I go away Saturday morning and I'm away for 2 weeks. It's the first 2 weeks holiday I've had for, you know, and my son asked me to go. I'll see you later, Mrs. Martin, all right? Bye.
That was nice, wasn't it? That was nice tune. Then he goes all haywire and does this blues stuff.
Doesn't like a blues.
Now that's me when I was about 8 at school, a school photograph. And in that funny little book there, I had written down lots of little jottings about Old Ainsford. So let me have the book just a minute, Barry. Whoopsie daisy. I know I put them together a long time ago because I belong to the Ainsford History Society and they like to have these things to put in their archive, so to speak. I was born on a Sunday in 1907 to the sound, so I've been told, of the village brass band on Church Parade. There were 5 boys and 1 girl already in the family, and another girl came 4 years later, after me. So we were 8 in all, in the little cottage where I still live. The times were hard, but people were more contented with so little. We got our own water from a well, 1 well between 6 houses. Our only light were oil lamps and candles, no street lamps of course. But now, how bright the stars seem to be. You don't seem to see stars now, do you? The sky used to be full of stars, but now with all the lighting, you don't see the stars. A lot you miss out on. The WC was a little walk from the house, so one had a candle and a jam jar for light. 3 labs between 6 houses, just dirt ones at first. Good old days, I wonder. At least they were good old people. Well, that's the sort of old things that used to go on, you see, in any case. Because as it was, I say, it was a little tiny village. It wasn't like it is now. It was a village. I don't know what you call it now, I'm sure. Call it a village, would you? Glorified town? I don't know. I wouldn't say it was an affluent village, no, because you see it's well, not now, but it was mostly farmland. So people went onto the farm. A lot worked at Lullingstone Castle because they employed quite a few.
50p a head. Thank you very much. £1. Lovely. Thank you. Pleasure to do business. It's been absolute bedlam today. It always is on charitable occasions. Lots of people. Next Sunday when we do it for ourselves, when we do anybody. 3 tourists and a damp cat. Still, we do try. My mother-in-law is over there running her plant stall. Afternoon. Have you still got your tickets, have you? Ah, splendid. Thank you very much. There is a little guide if you haven't got one already. Good. It's taken me 14 years to develop my smile, so that it sticks. Yes, not in here, but in the gatehouse. We've still got our signboard out there giving the prices. It's been the same prices for about 4 years, I think. And the rector said to me, well, why don't you just put the big word still adults £3. Pensioners £2.50. I think we'll have to raise them next year, I think. Because the number of visitors seems to be just about static. We've been doing it since when? When did we start? 1976, wasn't it? Nearly 20 years. Have you seen the church yet? No. And the garden? No. Oh, you haven't started. You'll be here tomorrow. And you get teas in the gatehouse, and all the grounds are open. The kiddies probably like to see the swans on the lake and the family and ducks.